So you wrote your introductory paragraph. Now it's time to move on and bring on the evidence that really supports and showcases your thinking and highlights and proves your claim. Although I say proves hesitantly because we're really not proving, we're showing our reasoning and what's drawn us to these conclusions about the claim that we're making. So think about Texas. This is something that you've seen in 7th grade that I want to review and talk about today in this video. So when we talk about Texas body paragraphs, what are we saying? First, T, we start with the topic sentence. We want to clearly state our point for the paragraph. What's our focus? Where are we going? E is for context. We want to give some background, go into detail on the context of the topic, give more info, and elaborate. We don't just mention an idea and not support it adequately. We want to refer to any key elements that our reader needs to know to understand and link the examples that we're bringing in to illustrate how our thinking is the correct way of thinking. X stands for examples, and we're giving multiple examples. I say go 3 deep from the text that help you prove your claim. 2 direct quotes and 1 example. That is not a direct quote. Too often, young writers will rely on a large chunk of evidence or just dropping in a quote to explain or prove their idea. But we really then need to, once we lead into our evidence for our readers, go to the next step, which is our analysis. We want to put together a proper ratio of evidence and analysis so that our ideas are fully developed. We want to clearly connect the information in the paragraph to our claim and then go one step further and talk about the impact of the information on the reader. So we can't just say this shows or this proves. We need to elaborate and extend our thinking and show what drew us to that reasoning. It's really important that the reader add well-selected evidence. And when we say well-selected evidence, not any quote can actually do. We want to make sure that the evidence that we're bringing into the paragraph really highlight and showcase what we're showing and illustrating as it connects to our claim. Lastly, after we elaborate and we bring in the analysis, we need to address the so what. So this is a transitioning sentence that sums up the purpose of the paragraph and also reaffirms the claim, but it pushes at why this is important. So we need to practice this and we need to foreshadow the topic that's coming next to smooth the transition into the next topic sentence. And we need to make sure our ideas are clear. So Texas, topic sentence, context, examples, analysis, and so what? These are key things that we need to be elaborating on to show our thinking throughout the paragraph. So how do we lead into a quote? How do we lead out of a quote? We want to choose and challenge our vocabulary to use verbs that are going to help suggest our point of view on the topic, also going to introduce and lead into a quote. We want to go beyond just that the author shows. Maybe we want to elaborate by saying the author explains, states, reveals, suggests, acknowledges, comments, or the author even illustrates. These are all different ways that we can change our vocabulary so we're not saying this quote shows in every analysis piece of our paragraphs. We want to vary our sentence structure and our vocabulary, and that's also going to push our writing to exceed standards rather than just meet standards when it comes to the grades. So let's try out our practice Texas paragraph today to support our claim about the central idea in the text. We need to find our evidence, a quote that supports our claim, and we can't just find one piece of evidence. We want to find 3 pieces of evidence that really show how this idea that we are thinking about support that central idea in the claim. You want to analyze how this quote supports your claim, show us the connection between the evidence and the central idea, and then we can go back to the top part of writing a topic sentence to set up the paragraph and explain what's going on in the text to set up the quote and the evidence. Last piece is that transition piece, writing that closing sentence, how it connects to that claim, and the so what. So some quick tips. Don't just mention an idea and not support it adequately. You don't want to be redundant. Don't repeat the same idea in different terms in multiple places. You want to refer to your claim while you're writing to ensure connected ideas and organization. And you want to remember the depth and meaning comes from adding value through analysis, which comes from explaining how or why not what is necessary. And always connect your ideas back to your claim and remember the impact on the reader. You know, writing academically is a process. Our outline is a great way to help us draft and revise and review our thinking. And through the writing process, we're going to ensure the best product that any writer can hope for. Can't wait to see what your Texas paragraphs have to say. Looking forward to reading through your multi-paragraph outlines.